Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Karthik, and on my channel, we are exploring how Gen AI makes building proof of concept much easier. Today, I'll be presenting the AI powered contract compliance review system that I built, and it uses the power of knowledge graphs, vector search, and generative AI. So, let's begin. So, what is the business problem that we are dealing with here? The business problem is that reviewing contracts is tough, and it can, if you do it manually, it can take a lot of hours and a lot of effort, and you can still make mistakes. So it's time consuming. There's a risk of human error and inconsistency, and the regulatory space is has never been simple, but it's growing even more and more complex. So there's an ever-growing complexity of regulatory requirements, and there's a difficulty in maintaining compliance across multiple jurisdictions. So if your business is operating in more than one jurisdictions, then it can be a very difficult task to stay on top of um, the regulatory requirements in all of those jurisdictions. And there's a limited scalability of manual review. So if you are doing all of this manually, then there's only so much you can scale your operations up. So the solution that we're going to be discussing today involves a knowledge graph, vector search, and generative AI. Knowledge graph is being used to map the relationship between regulatory requirements and capture the dependencies and context, and it maintains regulatory hierarchy. So it's basically a graph. It creates the relationships between the requirements and the entities and the different aspects of the regulations. And the solution also involves a vector search, where the vector database uses a semantic understanding of the contract content, and intelligent matching with requirements, and context-aware analysis. So we're combining both of those, and we're leveraging the benefits of both of those, because both have their own pros and cons, and both are very powerful in their own rights. And combining both of those, we're then providing the output to a generative AI, basically an OpenAI ChatGPT model, for natural language analysis and detailed compliance assessment and clear explanation of the findings. Then in the current features, what it has, the demo that I'll present, automated requirement extractions from regulations, intelligent contract analysis, compliance scoring dashboard, detailed requirement by requirement analysis, and it's a more of a UI thing of expandable sections for each finding, because it does give a good amount of details on the analysis. And how it works: basically process the documents, regulatory document ingestion, contract upload and analysis, and then automatically it extracts all the text from that. We'll jump on the demo and the architecture diagrams shortly. Uh, and then there's an intelligent analysis, which is vector-based similarity and knowledge graph context. Both of them are combined, and then an AI-powered assessment is done of the results. And then there's result generation of compliance scoring, detailed findings, and requirements mapping. Now we can move to the architecture diagram real quick, and I'll pull my face bubble here. So in the first, the underlying architecture, the underlying technology we are using in this is Fast API and Python for the backend, and Next.js for the front end, and we're also using LangChain for the AI piece. So basically, there are AI agents working in the background. And how it begins is that you upload document, and the document is also the regulation and the contract, and the text is extracted from both, and the processing begins, where let's take the knowledge graph part first. For the knowledge graph, I'm using Neo4j, and the AI piece is being handled by the OpenAI ChatGPT APIs. I'm using 4o mini for this one. So text chunking is being done through the OpenAI vector embedding model. I forgot it. There was one after Ada, the text embedding small. I think we are using that one, yeah. And then the entity recognition and extraction is done using the GPT-4 mini model, and then the relationship mapping is done within Neo4j and with the help of the LLM, and a knowledge graph is constructed. Now on the vector embedding side, the vector processing side, we are again using the embedding model from OpenAI, and for storing the vector embeddings, I'm using Supabase. So the text, there's semantic chunking of the text that goes on first, and for each chunk we generate the vector embeddings, and it is stored in the vector storage. Then this is the analysis engine, where compliance analysis is done. So in the processing side, we do the requirement matching, vector similarity search, and graph context enrichment. Within the graph context enrichment, we're doing the fetching the related entities from the knowledge graph, get controls associated with requirements, get actors responsible for compliance, and get related requirements. And I'd also like to add that within this we are doing 2-hop search. So there's you can increase the hops to find greater relationships, but right now I'm doing 2 hops, which is still multi-hop, but yeah, you can do 3-hop or 4 hops. And then there's an LLM analysis. Now coming back to the output. So once all of that is done, in the output we get the compliance results, the risk assessment, detailed analysis report, and compliance dashboard, which is pretty basic at the moment, but I'll show you how it looks. So this is the basic UI of that. Let me just create a new project. Let me give it GDPR contract review test, and I'll put the same thing in the description, and let's just create the project. Now this is what we get after creating the project, and one tab is for regulatory content. At the moment I'm just uploading regulatory content as documents, but to have, and because it's just a proof of concept, but eventually if this was to become a production app, then it would be best to have a sort of an agent vetting through the different sources of regulatory content, and then generating basically a pipeline, a data ingestion pipeline, which would constantly keep uploading, and also you could have the versioning of those regulations. But so in the regulatory content, I will upload a regulatory document. So I've already saved the GDPR Article 5 as a Word document. I'll upload that, and I'll wait. So this has been uploaded, as you can see here. There's a delete button as well if I wish to delete. I can upload more documents as well, but right now I'll be just uploading the GDPR Article 5. Then I come to the contracts, and I upload a dummy contract that I have. So I'll upload the data processing agreement here. Okay, so this has been uploaded, data processing agreement.docx. It says pending review. So I'll click on view analysis here, and the analysis has been done, and it says total requirements are 5, and these are the requirements. Personal data shall be accurate and kept up to date. principles relating to processing of personal data. So I'll open each of that, and because it says partially compliant and needs review, so let's see what the findings are. So direct compliance assessment, it says contract coverage. The contract includes provisions that require the parties to ensure that personal data is accurate and kept up to date, specifying the responsibilities of each party in maintaining data accuracy. So what are the gaps and ambiguities? There are no specific timelines or methods outlined for how often the data should be reviewed or updated, which may lead to ambiguity in compliance. So that's that's the gap in the contract. And similarly, missing controls in the contract for risk assessment. And this is the summary. The contract partially complies with the requirement due to gaps in specific procedures for data accuracy and updates. And similarly for other requirements as well, with coming from the GDPR Article 5, it is scanning the document, scanning the contract, and finding gaps and ambiguities and missing controls. So for example, the missing control here is there's a lack of detailed procedures for data breach notification and insufficient clarity on third-party data sharing protocols. So this is how a contract has been reviewed against regulatory requirements, and as you can see, the results are pretty comprehensive, and of course this can be made much more robust and much more sophisticated, but this is just a test, and pretty quickly we've been able to reach this point where you can upload regulatory content and then and a contract, and it can analyze. So coming to the next slide, let's get back to the presentation. So yeah, what could be the future capabilities that we can add, for example, into this? We can add advanced analytics, historical compliance tracking, trend analysis, risk prediction models, making it more robust. Automation features. We can add automated contract drafting suggestions, real-time compliance checking during contract creation, automatic regulatory update integration, and this could be connected to the initially that I mentioned, the data ingestion pipeline for regulatory content, and integration capabilities, contract lifecycle management. So it can be you can build connections or connectivity with the contract lifecycle management. I wouldn't say it would make sense to build this into it, but of course, yeah, whatever, that can be done if that is the direction where we'd like to take it. And document management system integration, legal workflow tools, regulatory update feeds, and so on. Enhanced analysis, we can add multi-language support. So for example, if you're working across different jurisdictions, you would need multilingual support for regulations as well as for contracts. So that could be added. Cross jurisdictional compliance, industry specific requirement templates, custom compliance rule creations. Collaboration tool, comment and annotation features, review workflow management, that would be really good. Team collaboration spaces, audit trail, and version control, which is very important for something like this, if you ever go through an audit. Transforming contract review. So what do we get with these kind of solutions? We get faster review process, we get consistent analysis methodology, we get comprehensive requirement coverage, clear explainable results, scalable solution, and of course a really good audit trail once it's built into this. And yeah, thank you for attending this. I really appreciate your time, and next time I'll build something else and I'll present that. Just want to state that all of what I'm doing is just my hobby projects. Do it in the evenings when my daughter goes to bed. And whatever opinion I share are personal and do not